The Blast Bounty started this year, and despite the teams not being in the best shape since it's the first LAN tournament of the season, it gave us some very entertaining games. Some would argue that the Eternal Fire comeback on Anubis against Spirit was the best map of the tournament, but from my point of view, the semifinals second map between Spirit and Navi was more like a chess match, with both teams trying to read and counter each other's, even with the small detail adjustments in order to get an advantage. Most of them happened in the mid area, which gave one team or another much needed map control and ultimately allows to read their opponent's next move. It started from round 2 after Navi's force buy with a pretty default mid approach. Here you can see the T's are throwing the red room smoke and this molotov to block the cities from playing aggressively by the close wall. Cities are replying with the default elbow smoke and followed it up with the incendiary. However, the incendiary is clearly missed by the cities, and just look how much space Ima is having. At this time Beat throws perfect flashes, Ima spots zone ticks, Dong peeks while being on the same line of fire and it's cleaning for Ima. And I want you to keep an eye on the Ima Dong head-to-head matchup. This is definitely not the last time when they meet each other. Right on the next round, Spirit, anticipating fast mid aggression from Navi, brings an extra man for help, and he will play a crucial role for this round's success. Just look how helpless Ima is, despite being in almost similar situation to the previous round. This happened because of Shiro's flashes and the small detail improvements of Spirit, like a placement of CT's molly. I mean, that's a day-night difference if you ask me, but the most important thing is this run boost, which allows Dong to beat Ima's molly and be in a huge advantage in terms of positioning, and it completely counters Ima's play. Middle skirmishes continued when Spirit went back to their guns. They starting to mid, but watch Navi adapting on their mid plays. Ima, I assume, not hearing anyone stepping nearby, not even looking at Dong being close. But more important, just check Wonderful's nades. He is adding another molly to the copy and flashing the only play that was available for Dong. And we didn't even look that Alexi drew an extra flash to play with a bit of delay. Adding a donut smoke above all of these nades from Ima, and this amount the utility just too much for Dong to handle. On the next round, Ima runs the same play, and despite Spirit starting free mid, they have no answer for that. However, it's failed run boost which forced Dong to find cover in a very awkward timing, which he was clearly frustrated about. 2 rounds later, Spirit failed another run boost. However, the lack of mid pressure that makes Navi's offense much more predictable played a crucial role in them losing the round. After the timeout, Navi went into B-Rush, which completely fails. So on the hero AK, Ima decided to do what he was successful before. But Dong didn't give him an early fight that he wants. Navi don't have a utility to follow up, so Dong is ready to meet him on his terms. The poor economy forcing T's to create something extra. Navi clearly lacks grenades again, and despite Alexi B getting better of Dong with the help of his teammate's flash, Spirit were more than ready for Navi's delayed mid attacks. And when they were able to control the tempo, I think that's where they had full advantage. Overall, despite Navi's excellent beginning and immense EMS impact, a couple of small mistakes turns into 7-5 half for Spirit. After the swap sites, Navi were able to win the pistol and convert it. The game is tied, So it's a Spirit's turn to show their offense. The first difference that we can see is how many people Spirit ascending into mid, which we haven't seen from Navi before. And despite Dog getting tagged at the beginning, he has a high chance of being traded. They're not just smoking Red Room from spawn, but the donut as well, to block off any angles from this area. On the other hand, we are seeing Cave Player being activated and helping his teammates on mid, which was never the case in Spirit's defense. To be fair, it happened because Alexi B wasn't pressured at all. And it might look a bit too telegraphed from Spirit's point of view, but they more than content with that. It took some time and extra utility from them, but they kept Navi's defense honest and worried about any late plays through mid, which led to Spirit's free ticket to the B side. So Spirit went back to the same play, but fixing their only liability. They smoke off Cave to add an extra pressure to Alexi B, and Navi had to respect it. With the loss of the mid control, Navi losing grip of the game. Even when they are playing free B, it seems that Spirit simply better in these slow and methodical rounds. Simply because they have the entire map to work with and easily can go back to the different options, while Navi are boxed into the bomb sites and afraid of any possible lurks. It looks pretty dark for Navi, so they've decided to change their approach for mid. It's the same run boost play as we've seen from Spirits in the first half, but damn, how powerful it is. You're not just getting a mid control, but a man advantage, which is crucial for Navi at this point of game. After that, the game becomes very simple. With the man advantage and information about the mid, the cities have a much lesser pressure to move around the map. Spirit clearly don't want to delay this game, so they came with a different approach, sending Chopper to fight from mid from heaven and wrap mid from two sides. But Navi decided to take a fight. They're not just bringing free players into mid with wonderful throwing these Xbox flashes, but after the beats frag on heaven player, Alexi immediately swinging out of cave. It's also worth mentioning that Navi clearly decided to live or die by fighting on mid. And at this point of game, it feels like Navi are taking over the game and have all the initiative. But unfortunately, their B defense is not as strong as Spirit's. Navi generally were struggling to defend the bomb sites, so they found themselves one round away from getting eliminated. You almost felt that Navi fall apart completely when Ima and Alexi gets nothing on mid, and Beat was able to get only one frag. But it takes some mistakes and wonderful shots to keep this game rolling. In the final round of regulation, Spirit decided to just get straight up fights on mid after all the utilities. Ima gets first, but instantly got traded by Donk. Donk got traded by Beat, and Beat got traded by Shiro. That's a pretty wild final round of regulation if you ask me, but this game is clearly delivering on every level. So, at this point of game, both teams showed a lot out of their playbooks, so it takes a creativity to catch your opponent off guard. In this round, Shiro was just a couple seconds away from getting a frag with Spirit's little boost trick. Instead, Ima smokes himself to block any of A split potential. Shiro does not expect GL in his left, who is B anger by the way, and Spirit got nothing there. We've got another run boost play by Navi on the next round, but Spirit didn't give them anything away this time. Instead, they are waiting for utilities to expire and retake mid on the mid round. Later on, they kinda were able to sell the B hit with the chopper's frag, and it should be not an easy retake for Navi, but bomb plant became an issue. On round 28, Ima gets back to his shenanigans, but only to be encountered with already oftenly mentioned here CT's run boost play. Beat barely gets away with the trade frag, but it's worth mentioning that is the first time when Navi were able to find a trade here. So Navi decided to go out mid as a pack, which works wonders for them. It's pretty brutal, but they were able to find themselves with one-man advantage. And despite them not closing the game in this overtime, it felt like Navi found the key to open up a Spirit's defense. And after the first half of another overtime, Navi secured 3 out of 3 rounds. Spirit had to replicate the same success, but what can you do at this point? Well, here is our answer. So, Spirit were able to walk out mid, wonderful fights and opening, but watch Dong finding a great timing just to sneak past him. It's pretty unusual situation for Dong to be in. However, Team Spirit's making the most out of it. Chopper throwing CT smoke and additional Molotov to fake an A commitment and falling back. After the small window of silence, Navi are seeking for any information on the map and decided to clear mid through Donut. That's where the reigning best player in the world strikes. In the last round that I want you to show, Spirit actually attacked through Red Room with high efficiency. After the slow roll out mid, Chopper throws a donut smoke to apply pressure on A side and forcing rotations. After that, the mid players can make their move. Pete only gets one here, and after that, Spirit can just wait for any reactions. With the smoke break play, GL gets nothing, and despite Alexi finding the magics, Wonderful falls empty-handed, so it's 3 versus 2 situation for Spirit. And even Navi tried to came back one more time and had some interesting ideas, like B-split through Red Room. It wasn't enough at the end. I want to get a huge credit to Ima, who was able to hold his ground against the best player in the world right now, and was the main engine of the Navi's earlier run. So, throughout this match, we've seen different approaches how to utilize mid area from both teams, but those endless adaptations, counterplays, and fresh rounds gave us the best map and one of the best head-to-heads of this tournament. To support this channel, please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this content, and see you next time. Peace.